How Special Works has become the fastest subcategory of vehicles in GTA Online, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the best and fastest ones. Muscle cars, off-road, sports cars, we're going to have a bunch of different car classes in today's video. Beginning with the new Niobe, based off the BMW i8, this is a great all-arounder vehicle. One of the best all-arounders in the entire game when it comes to speed, handling, looks. It really checks off all of the above, but it does come at a price, and that's the main problem people have with it. Actually, the only problem. This is pretty much the only downside with the Niobe, the price of it. You might see it in the Legendary Motorsport website and think to yourself, 1.8 million is not that expensive, but the catch is when you take it into the LS Car Meet and put the HSW upgrade, you're gonna need to pay an additional 1.8 million just for the HSW upgrade before spending more money on the actual customization, which is probably gonna run you about a couple $100,000 on top of that. So in total, you're gonna be spending roughly $4 million on a fully upgraded HSW Niobe, making it really expensive. And I guess it is an upside that you can get your hands on this vehicle for not that much, but if you actually want to upgrade it to the max, you are going to need to spend a lot more money than 1.8 million. As we said before, it's based off an iconic BMW i8, very popular vehicle, and I'm actually glad Rockstar decided to give this good performance, because there's many great examples of other cars that are based off really iconic ones, but they flop so hard in performance. For example, the Obey 10F, based off the Audi R8, it's a super popular car and a great looking one, but in performance in GTA, it sucks. Same story with the Comet S2 and the Comet S2 Cabrio, based off amazing looking Porsches, but when it comes to performance, they're not that great. So this is actually a rarity that we got a car that's very popular in real life and looks really cool, and it actually has good performance to back it up as well. The Niobe is extremely impressive with over a 160 mile per hour top speed. That is extremely fast even for an HSW car, and you'd think a car as fast as this one would have not great handling, but it actually has some decent handling. It's not the greatest, but it's definitely usable. Some solid traction for, once again, a great all-arounder vehicle, and even has a cool interior matching the whole sporty theme of the entire car. 10 out of 10, highly recommend this one, only if you have the money. Next is the weaponized Ignis, which is actually the only true weaponized HSW vehicle there is, and the machine gun on the top of it is extremely powerful. Shooting any unarmored vehicle with this thing, it's gonna blow it up within only a few seconds. It's that strong. It also has bullet resistant windows, so semi-bulletproof, which is crazy. So it takes several AR bullets to fully crack the window, at least the windshield. I'm not sure about the side windows, but I'm guessing they are as well. With a car like this, you can be chased by the cops with a 5-star wanted level forever, and they wouldn't be able to take you out as long as you keep driving. It's a really good car. It's a great performing supercar that basically has a super good machine gun on the top of it, and of course it's got the enhanced performance upgrades, making it even faster. Again, this one's going to be very expensive as well, so don't expect any of these to be anywhere below $1 million bucks. The HSW version of the Vigero ZX is absolutely ridiculous for the muscle cars class. Besides the obviously amazing and iconic look this car has, I mean, I haven't met one person that dislikes the look of this car. It actually shines most in top speed, not even the looks of it. It's got a crazy high top speed, once again, relative to muscle cars. It's not the absolute fastest HSW vehicle, but for its actual car class, which is the muscle class, it's by far the fastest car you can choose to drive. Even with the enhanced performance upgrades, it still has to be somewhat of a normal muscle car, so it is going to be a bit more drifty than other ones. So it's a great drifting car if you're into drifting. This is hands down one of the best. It's one of those pretty controllable drifts, so it's not like a spinning out of control type thing. I definitely would not recommend this one for the HSW time trial, just because of the driftiness of it and the fact there's other better cars that have way better traction and more grippy to the road that would be better for completing time trials like that. Now moving on to a car that's basically the complete opposite of this one. It kind of lacks in top speed a little bit for an HSW car, but the traction and grippiness of this thing is crazy. The Hakiii sports car is next up on this list, and it shines in traction. I mean, it is grip to the road so good. I don't think I've driven a more grippy car than this one. I mean, it is literally stuck to the road, maybe with the exception of F1 cars, but I mean, they're meant to do that. But this is a sports car, and it almost has the same handling or the same grippiness as the open wheel vehicles in this game. That might be a little bit of a stretch, but just know it's got some crazy traction. It is electric, so naturally the top speed isn't going to be as good as I mentioned earlier, and I feel like with the looks of this one, it's either a hit or miss for you. Some people people love it, some people hate it. Then we have probably my favorite HSW vehicle personally, just because it's so OP, the Hakiii Drag HSW. It's actually my go-to for HSW time trials out of all vehicles. Not to say you can't complete the HSW time trial with other vehicles, like for example with the Niobe, I've completed with that one, but I feel like the Hakiii Drag is by far the easiest vehicle to go and complete that, so I definitely recommend it for that. And obviously with a motorcycle like this, it's going to be insanely fast. I believe it's the #1 fastest land vehicle in the entire game, so that speaks for itself. This motorcycle is pretty much top tier in every performance category. I mean, braking is great, you can go super fast and then within a second you could just stop right in place almost. Of course, traction is going to be great with this thing, and the top speed speaks for itself as we mentioned earlier. If you could only get one HSW vehicle, I would recommend this one. The Hakiii Drag is just the best overall one, and I think it's a bit cheaper than something like the Niobe. Then we have ourselves an off-road HSW vehicle, the Monstrosity, which is also a relatively new one. This car has a lot of customization, and as someone that loves customizing cars, I really like this one. A ton of different unique options and a big variety in the hood section, some cool liveries. There's a lot to check out in Los Santos Customs, so definitely recommend that. And performance wise, of course it's going to be great. And looking at it from the side, the length of the vehicle is actually very short, which makes the handling of it very good. It's a relatively smaller off-road vehicle. It's not like the Camacho or any of the bigger trucks that go off-road. Great handling and quick off-roader right here. Definitely recommend this one. The Cyclone 2 is up next, and it holds the crown for the most ridiculous acceleration in the entire game. If I had to take a wild guess, this would probably be the fastest accelerated vehicle, at least land vehicle, because right off the bat, you're gonna notice even from this gameplay that this thing starts flying right away. Now, my big pet peeve about this one is the handling of it, just because if you're gonna handle this car, you probably need to be a more experienced player, because sometimes it's freaking difficult to turn with this thing. Because it's so difficult right off the bat, it's a bit hard to control, so if you're an experienced player and you actually manage to get the hang of it, maybe it's a really good car for you, but otherwise, if you're a beginner, you're almost guaranteed to crash into something going at a high speed. For me personally, it's not my first choice when it comes to HSW cars, just because I'm really big on good handling, but it's still a great car with a really fast acceleration and top speed. The Itali GTO Stinger TT is also up there with the fastest land vehicles in the entire game. The top speed is definitely the highlight of this one. This one's actually a similar situation to the Cyclone 2, because the highlight of the Cyclone 2 is the acceleration, but then obviously it lacks a lot in handling. With the Stinger TT, instead of the highlight of it being the acceleration, it's actually the top speed, but yet again, the handling can use some work. Doing drag races, this is definitely a car you want to be using. This is probably the best choice out there. But for a race with a lot of turns and just overall lap time for regular races, not just straightforward speed type races, then this is probably not the best option for that. Once again, just because it's not the greatest when it comes to turning, it's definitely bound to spin out if you go too fast around a turn. And for the honorable mentions in this video, we're gonna go with the Sterling GT, the S95, and the Devastier. I really hope you all went on to find this video helpful. If you did, drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new to the channel for more awesome videos like these. Click the video on screen now for the best off-road vehicles in GTA Online. I hope you all enjoy that video, and peace.